Hey there, it's Raina with Lylo Crafts and happy July 1st. Yes, the first day of Christmas in July, and today I am going to make some tags, and I hope that you will try them along with me too. And so this is a mass make project, so we're going to be able to make 8 different tags so quickly. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is get out a piece of 8.5 by 11 inch paper, and I am using 110-pound cardstock because I want this to be thick. And we are just going to cut this paper exactly in half. So we are gonna cut on the 4.25 inch mark. Okay. So there we go. So we've got that. And then the next thing that we are going to do is cut these into 2 3/4 inches. Okay, and I am just going to do that for the rest of these pieces. And I will be back with you and you will be able to see that it cuts exactly what we need. 4 tags each, and then so there's no waste, and 4 tags for on the other. And so the next thing I'm going to do is emboss these tags. So I'm going to do 4 with a little snowy background and 4 with a snowflakes background. This is not required at all. You can use any kind of embossing folder you have. I just want to add some texture to these. So I've run them through the embossing machine, and look how pretty that is. So that's got the snow falling, and then these, stunning, right? I'm thinking just like a little ink on these and a little like gold around the edge, and those would be amazing. But today I'm doing something a little different, but I may come back and do that. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to round the corners. So I'm using my little corner rounder, and I'm gonna do the 1/4 inch side, and I'm gonna do 2 at a time, and I'm just doing the bottom corners in a round. So there we go, got the 2 bottoms on that. Okay, now for the tops on these snow ones, I was thinking just a little angle. So I have this punch, and it has this thing that says large angle, but it's really not very big. So let's try that. Do you see how small that is? That's considered the large size of the angle. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that. Now, if you don't have this punch, you can just snip yourself with, just by eye, and flip the corner over and do the other side. So I've got these beautiful tag shapes on this. Or the other thing you can do is make a template. So I just glued together some cardstock. If you have like an old used up gift card, you can use that. So this is another way to make those angles. So once you've got one side, then you flip your little template over. And I just save this because I can just use it over and over again. And I'm just going to line my scissors right up against it, and there we go. So I've got those cut like that. Okay, there we go. So we've got them all cut up, and then now we're going to get to the fun part, decorating. Okay, so what I'm going to be using is this little tree die here that I have. It's like 4 segments of trees along with a little base right here. And I want to mix and match. You can make them all the same. You can make them 2-tone, but I'm thinking I might want to mix and match. So what I did was I cut this tree out like 8 times or maybe a few more. And what I learned when I was cutting, because I was just cutting from scraps and I didn't want to detach these because I'm afraid I'm going to lose them, is that if you use directional paper, see, I've got directional paper right here. Some of them are going to be upside down. So if you don't want to fiddle-faddle with that, then make sure that you do not use directional paper. So what I'm going to do is work at combining all of these together, and then I'll be back and show you what I decided. Okay, so now I've got my little trees all laid out on my tags right here, my embossed tags. And you can see I used 4 on all of them, and on one I used 3. So I just wanted you to see that just because your die has 4 doesn't mean that you have to do 4. And so the next thing I want to do is glue my pieces together. So I'm going to glue one together with you, and then I will come back when I've got them all glued together. So you don't have to watch me sit and glue. I know you guys know how to glue. So that's the bottom piece. Okay, and then I'm going to glue the next piece on, and I'm going to focus on these middle pieces right now. And let's go ahead and glue that like that. Now, if you are somebody who likes cattywampus, you can make some of these crooked and make them really whimsical. Make them like whimsical trees too. So they could be like that or leaning sideways. So whatever you like. I am just going to do mine a little more straight up and down, but make them to your personality, right? So what I did on these combinations is I tried to keep the creams together, right? And the weights together. And so that's how I was coordinating my pieces of paper. These are scraps that I had from last Christmas. And so I just got out my little scrap pouch, and you can see here it is. And it says Scraps Christmas. And I want you to know that I have another one that's like bigger pieces in this, but this is it. I try to limit myself to 1 envelope of each kind of scrap so I don't get overwhelmed with scraps. And then when I'm going to create, I always start by going to my scraps first. Okay, so you can see how this first tree came together, and I'm going to go ahead and glue all my other trees together, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got all my trees glued together, and I do not have them glued to the background yet. And I have been using art glitter glue. I know it doesn't say on here. I don't know why. I'm terrible at sticking that pin in the art glitter glue. So I find that these fine tip bottles with the silicone cap, they take longer to dry out. I don't know why, but if I put this on here, it really helps. And because it's attached with this cord, it's easier to remember for me. So I got these on Amazon. Love them. Definitely love them. Okay, so the next step that I'm going to do is ink. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 with you, and then I will ink the rest. But I just want to show you the difference that inking makes, and you can do it with different colors. So I am going to start off with red, and if you don't want too much ink on yours, just go up and down. So if you don't want to get too much ink, you can kind of just slide it right along the edge. Okay, so if you are somebody who doesn't like a lot of ink, you can just do this straight up and down. And all that does is just barely outlines the edge, and I think it just helps that tag to pop like that. Now, I want you to see that you can do 2 colors. What? Yes! I did this by accident one time, and then I loved it. So the first thing I'm going to do is put red on this one. And then you can take your second color, like your vintage photo, your walnut stain, your, I don't know, there's like soot or scorched timber, and then you can go up and down on the outside, and now you've got 2 dimensions to your inking. So I love the way that that looks also. Okay, one of the things I'm going to add is a little bit of inking on top of the embossing. So I want you to see that is with silver inking, and this is with nothing. So what I am doing is I'm just taking my little ink pad, and this is Brilliance. Okay, and this one, and just take your time. And if you get ink on where the dots aren't, just like how I've got mine in the background, it's totally okay. Don't worry about it, okay? Because once you put your tree on there, it's going to look so good. Or whatever kind of embellishment. This would work with any kind of embellishment that you would like to add to it. Okay, so I've got those. Okay, so how are you guys doing? Are you going to be doing crafting in July? Let me know in the comments. I so would like to know. And I'd also love to know what kinds of projects that you would like to see me do in July. So you know that I've got a ring-bound junk journal planned, and I've got like a mini photo album or mini album or a flip album, Happy Mail type thing planned, and I'm certainly doing tags, but you know, let me know. Do you want me to do embellishments, ephemera? Because I would love to create things that you would like to see. Or gingerbread. I'm for sure going to do something gingerbread. Or if you even want home decor, I could do some home decor or Christmas ornaments. So I love the way these tags are, and so the next step is all you have to do is glue these down. So you can see I've got them glued to each other, and now I am going to go to the edges and glue because we are gluing these down. Before we were just assembling them, so I wasn't going all the way to the edge. Okay. And I am putting them on here, kind of being aware that I want to put a ribbon on the top or something where, right? We want to attach it to a present, or we want to stick it inside of a junk journal. We want to maybe add lace, something, some other kind of sweet embellishment to it. So I am going to put these closer to the bottom just to leave room for that next. And I don't mind that they hang a little bit off the edge, but if that bothers you, you can go ahead and just clip those edges off as well. All right, I'm gonna glue the rest and I will be right back. Okay, this last step, the decorating step, I think is the most fun. And so I looked at my stash and I have some of these Merry Christmas stickers from Hobby Lobby. In fact, I have a lot of them. And so I thought, since I had this one that had 2 left, I'm gonna add dangles to mine. So I am using a 1.5 inch scallop punch, and I've just got a scrap piece of white cardstock, and I'm gonna punch that out. And then I'm gonna take my little sticker right off of here, and then I'm just gonna center it as good as I can with my eyes right into that. Isn't that so cute? And I'm thinking it could be like a dangle, right? Wouldn't that be so fun to have that loose and dangling? So I'm gonna put a dangle on 2 of them. Okay, so I have this little baggie of stuff, little Christmas leftovers from last year, and I think these little bows, and I made these bows, I didn't buy these bows, would be cute. This black and white one on this. I think plaid and polka dots goes so well together. So I clip that. Oh, I think that's gonna be so cute. We can glue that one to the top after we add a string. And then let's see what else I have in here. So I've got red yarn, okay? So wouldn't red yarn be so cute? Tied maybe on this one right here. So let's go ahead and we will cut a piece of this red yarn. I have in here, oh, I have a piece of burlap ribbon, so that I had clearly tried to tie onto something before, or maybe I saved it from something. So I'm just gonna cut, I think this stitched burlap ribbon is so pretty. So I'm gonna cut a couple out of this. I can put that on something. Okay, these ones that have black, I do want to use this. So cute. There we go. Okay, what else do I have in my bag of tricks? I even have this little feather boa. I think that might be really cute glued onto the top of one of these things. I'm gonna try that on the top of this, like this, and maybe this can go with that. Okay, we'll see about that. So I found these little jimmies in my stash, and so we might be able to use those as well. So let's go ahead and start, and I'm gonna start on this one. And I'm going to use a slot punch, which is a straight hole punch. And I'm just going to stick my ribbon through. Okay, I've got them all completed, and I thought we could just run through how we decorated them and how they can look so different with just the same elements. So this one is a two-tone inking, both red and brown in the tree there. I've got some burlap ribbon on the top and just a little poof of feather boa on that one. Next, I've got this one. This is the snowflake this time instead of the snow, and then here is that Merry Christmas, and I just hung that off some glitter ribbon and some baker's twine, and then I added these sweet little Dollar Tree little red pearls to that for a little bit of decoration on the tree. Okay, next I've got this one with the red and the black, and this was really bright white, and I have toned that down a bit by hitting it with a little vintage photo. So if you would like to tone it down even more, look, this is all we need to do is just go over this, and then it tones down the white. So if you're worried about white and cream, although I think white and cream is lovely together, you can do it that way. So this one has a burlap and it has that plaid bow. And because the patterns are so bold on this, I chose not to add any additional embellishments on that. And then my next one is this one right here. And this time I tied a double bow, and this is just yarn, and I swagged it on here. And I love that it is off to the side. And I added some little bling to inside of the tree for some decorations. And this time I inked in green, okay, because there is some green in that paper down there. Okay, next I've got this one, and this is another one where I put the bow on the side, and I've got the red and green. I topped it just with a little red heart. That is bling, so I love the way that turned out. Here's another one with the plaid bow and the burlap on top. And then this one, here is one more with the Merry Christmas, and this time it is in red and green. And then I've got this one with burlap, and I just wanted to show you that you can go all out if you would like. So on this one, I added Nuvo drops, and then I added glitter to it so it would look like it was snowing. I've got the red bling heart on the top. I have the snow on the ground, the boa. I even made a bow out of these red heart jemmies, and I put a little clear one on the top. So I just want you to know you can make them as simple or as elaborate as you want. These would be so fun to make with your kids or your grandkids, and they are perfect to put on packages, stick in your junk journals, or put in any of your memory keeping albums or flip books. So if you like the content of this video, oh my goodness, it would really bless me if you could give my video a thumbs up. I so appreciate that. Comment and subscribe. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. And I hope you have an amazing day. Bye-bye.